Well, the first product from the Jason universe is out, and the first official Friday the 13th property in 16 years, Sweet Revenge. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Sweet Revenge stars Natasha Wakey Schuler-White and is directed by Mike P. Nelson. What's up, guys? Welcome to a strange 2025 review. We're going to review a Jason short from the Jason universe called Sweet Revenge, which is interesting as well. They didn't call it Friday the 13th Sweet Revenge. Legally, can they use the Friday the 13th name? Because the Jason universe, is it separate from the Crystal Lake series, which is under A24? This is under Horror Inc. I believe they are, okay? I'm not like the all-knowing when it comes to Friday the 13th. Yeah, I love the franchise to death. It's what I call the warm blanket franchise. Like, you can throw in any of these movies and have a blast, but let's not kid ourselves. These movies aren't freaking Shakespeare, okay? And I think half of them are good. A couple of them are great, all right? And there's a lot of really bad ones. But that doesn't mean you can't have fun with even the bad ones. I do, okay? So maybe that's why I don't take offense, I guess, to this Jason short. I think there's a few reasons, and we'll talk about that first, okay? This is going to be kind of a loose hang review, right? Because we're talking about a, 13-minute short, okay? Don't worry, I'm going to give you my opinion on the short, but let's talk about the lead up to this and how angry a lot of fans were before they even went into this thing. I think a lot of people, they went into this wanting to hate it. And you know what? I've had viewers say that I wanted to hate something. And I guess let's talk about that actual phrase, wanting to hate things. You know what? I think a mood is an important thing when you go into a movie. And sometimes you can just be in kind of a shitty mood and it can affect your opinion of that movie. But that's just like a single occurrence. This is like a months and months and months lead up that we were not a fan of. As a matter of fact, I don't remember anybody stating that, man, I love this approach that the Jason universe is taking to putting out new content, promoting new content. And I agree with them. I think it's been a misstep every step of the way. I don't know what they're doing. It's very, very strange. So it's hard to get excited when, one, you don't have a new movie, you know, and two, the marketing obviously didn't work because there was no like real excitement about this. At least I didn't see too many people, even like hardcore like Jason fans going, God, I can't wait, counting down the minutes. No, it's just like, oh shit, it's here. Let's go ahead and give it a review, or let's see how it is. Now, Mike P. Nelson directed this. He directed the Wrong Turn remake. He's doing the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake. I like the Wrong Turn remake. I'm curiously optimistic about the Silent Night remake. I think the big thing here is Friday the 13th is such a beloved franchise. I mean, let's face it, it's part of the big three, right? So taking this approach, it's just really confusing because there's no real like marketing as far as what's going to happen after this Sweet Revenge. And it happens to be a promotional thing for Angry Orchard cider or whatever it is. I think it's just the wrong approach. I think they should not have even made this. I think they're just anxious to get something out there because they own the rights to Jason as a character. And I think they didn't want to take another 2 years to make an actual movie and actually have it out there. I think they wanted to just get this out there to wet the whistle, so to speak, of the fans. All right. So what do I think of this actual short now that I've watched it? I really had no stake in the game. I didn't go into it pissed off. And I think a lot of people did go into this really pissed off, you know, having a sour taste in their mouth, which funny enough, it's for Angry Orchard cider. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, it's fine. It's hard to critique something that's 13 minutes, but as a short, if I set aside all the bullshit that's been going on with this Jason universe lead up, it's fine. And I wouldn't even like put it like the worst of the entire franchise if it were an actual movie and they were able to, I guess, somehow stretch it out and make it interesting. And how they would do that is actually give the characters some sort of personality, because these characters, they were just stock. There was nothing about them that was interesting whatsoever outside of the lead character. And it's strange that there's a betrayal going on when they're actually going to, you know, go to the lake together, I guess to go skinny dipping together, and then he just disappears, and then she sees him, you know, cheating on her. But I will admit, it kept my interest. I mean, it should, for 13 minutes. When Jason comes out of the water, brings her down, it was quite a surprise that, you know, they kind of said, hey, Jason has, you know, he was pulled down in the water. He sort of became like a zombified Jason, or an undead. What happens if, you know, another person is brought down, you know, below the water, and then they come back sort of like Jason did, and then they want sweet revenge, and then you end it like they did with a showdown between Jason and this character. I like that. I think that's actually a really, really cool idea. And I liked Dana as a character. I think she was cool. It's hard for me to say she does a phenomenal job in the short, because there wasn't enough material there for her, really. She's serviceable. I think she's fine. You know, at least she has more to do than the rest of the cast in this thing. But yeah, overall, I like the direction they went with this. I like any property when they take chances, any franchise, you know, like Halloween Ends, like they did. Friday has taken chances before. I got no problem with that. And if you're going to take chances, this was a cool idea, honestly. To put Jason against another undead victim, I think that's irresistible. And I think it's a big mistake on their part to not flesh that out and make that a feature-length movie. I think you could actually make that quite entertaining. This did feel like it had a really small budget behind it. Yeah, I mean, the camera works fine. But I do think it felt like this was rushed. Like they didn't have much time to do this, to throw this thing together. And really, they didn't have enough of a script to work with, even for a 13-minute thing. I mean, really, the Dana character was the only one that had something to do in the movie. The rest were just kind of occupying space and putting them in places that they need to be for the sake of the story. Okay, now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about Jason Voorhees. When you have a wide shot of this, yes, he is smaller in stature for sure. It's not the hulking looking Jason. And let's face it, Jason didn't start off massive and hulking. If you look at Jason from the first movie where he's an adult, Warren Gillette and Steve Dash, he's a normal sized guy. And the guy that actually played Jason in this, I believe, is around 6 foot, something like that. Yeah, the camera makes him look smaller. And maybe the shoulders look a little smaller. He doesn't look like a bodybuilder, but is Jason supposed to look like, you know, a hulking bodybuilder type of character? No, and I actually kind of like when Jason is a little on the more realistic side, I guess. Not to take anything away from the greats like Richard Brooker, but you could even say like Ted White. Yeah, he's a buff-looking guy, and he definitely looks bigger than this Jason, but I think if you stood this Jason side by side, and by the way, there's a picture of Vincent DeSante, who is in the Never Hike Alone. Did Vincent actually play Jason? I know he didn't like fully play Jason in all the movies, or maybe he did. I can't remember. I'm just thinking out loud here, but he's taller than Vincent DeSante. So I think this is just a camera work type thing, but those still images of Jason look pretty cool. Somebody in my comments, because I did a little YouTube post about this, brought up a really interesting idea. If this does somehow tie in with Crystal Lake, what if that is like a late teens Jason, or a Jason that isn't fully developed yet, right? And you know what? I could actually buy that. I think that's actually a cool idea for this character. So, as you can tell, guys, I didn't hate this. You know, it was a fun way to pass 13 minutes. I had a decent time with it. Did I want a full Jason movie after 16 years? Absolutely. And I'm a little annoyed that I didn't get it, okay? But it didn't make my Cheerios taste piss flavored, I guess. And as far as the mask goes, because you kind of have to talk about that, because they had the mask at Comic-Con, and that mask looked like shit. I don't think this mask is the worst looking thing ever, in the proper lighting and everything. I think it looks fine for a Jason mask. Not every Jason mask has been the exact same anyway. It's far from the best of the Jason masks for sure, but it does the job. I guess it's the Halloween 4 mask of the franchise. I thought about even doing a ranking, and you guys let me know down in the comments if you'd like me to do a ranking, including this. It's kind of cheating to include this in an actual franchise ranking, but I might consider doing it if you guys want me to, okay? For a rating, I'd give this just a straight up humdrum. That's, you know, for a short, and that's not saying it's a con for it to be a short. I'm just rating it for what it is, okay? And it's a straight up humdrum. I didn't hate it, definitely didn't love it, okay? So it's definitely something fun to talk about. At least we have something new Friday the 13th wise to discuss. There's a lot of heated opinions about it, and I think that's pretty cool, right? So let me know down in the comments, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this. I'm really curious to see what all you guys think. I'm sure there's some mixed opinions on this. I've seen a lot of the anger out there about it. I'd love to get down in the comments and chat with you guys about it, okay? Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day. And on Fridays, we do FIFA Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on my social, support me on Patreon. Become a channel member, buy me a coffee, and you guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Drumdum out.